Afternoon viewers, welcome to video 14 on Ford Escort build. I'm just starting to sort this engine out today. I've pulled gearbox off. I bought a brand new clutch. I always try and fit LUK clutches. The original clutch, which is one where I've took out, is this one, which as you can see is absolutely buggered. But this one, I don't know if you can just make out here, from Ford, the LUK ones. So I've bought another LUK to replace it. It weren't cheap, 140 quid for a complete clutch, but at least I know quality's right with LUK. I always used to buy Bogen Beck clutches, I used to swear by them, but I've been reliably informed that quality of Bogen Beck clutches has gone down pan because they are now owned by a Chinese company. Really all they've done is they've bought name, and quality is absolutely rhubarb. So I decided to stick with LUK. I wondered why price were different, because you could buy a Bogen Beck for about 80 quid. They do some other cheap ones for about 60 quid for a complete clutch, and obviously if you're only paying that money for them, quality is going to be suspect. So that's today's project. Stick new clutch in. That's what we're left at powder from. Presume it's asbestos powder out of old clutch when I'd swept it out of there. Yeah, and I've bought a timing belt kit. Once again, I've bought a quality timing belt kit. I always buy Gates if I can get a Gates one. It's complete kit with water pump and everything. Again, that weren't cheap, 120 quid. I bought a new rocker cover gasket for that powder coated rocker cover gasket where I'm going to fit, because when I come to change timing belt, rocker cover's got to come off. So that's how standard silver top rocker covers come. They're just in aluminium, but obviously that one I powder coated it, so that's going to be stuck on. So right, that's my jobs for today. So I'll see you in a bit when I've made a bit more progress. Right, I've moved on from clutch now. Clutch has changed, gearbox is back on, and I moved on to timing belt now. So this engine is locked. Way I lock it is I take starter motor off, and there's a locker. It bolts with it, starter motor goes, that slides across with a tooth on. You lock that off and tooth engages in flywheel, so you can't turn that. Flywheel's off. There's two marks on timing wheel. Fortunately on Escorts they've got a keyway there for Woodruff key, but on Focuses they don't have that keyway, so it's a bit of a bugger when you're timing them up. But what we're aiming for, there's two timing marks, one there, what you can just see. We don't need that one, we need that one, we need second one, and that second one has got to line up with that arrow there. And as you can see, that's top dead centre on number one cylinder now. And I've also got a locking plate in bike. Now that locking plate locks both at cams. Knacker. Don't try and free that off, that big nut off, just by locking these with camming without locking flywheel. If you try and do that, these are liable to snap because they're as hard as hell and they're really brittle. So if you just try and free that bolt off just by locking them, you're liable to break part of bikes at cams off. Other locking device goes there. That's proper item what's in. As you can see, it's got a an oil seal on to stop oil coming out, but that's just an extra long version of that. And you only thumb screw it in, and whatever you do, don't forget to take this bugger out at the end of the day. It's an extra long one, and that just lands on one of crankshaft journals and stops it turning anymore. So once your crankshaft journal hits that, you know you're at top dead centre. So we've got all those locking pins in position. We've got that locked, we've got his cams locked, we've got his flywheel locked. I've took all gubbins off of this. What else was I going to say? Something I was going to mention about doing timing belts on these. Anyway, it'll come back to me. So there we are for now. I'm going to change this. I'm going to do water pump and all. Water pumps there. So while all this gubbins is off, even though it's only done 34,000 miles, it's worth changing all this carry on. So that's what I'm going to do now. Once I've changed this belt, put new belt on, I've got idler pulleys to change, two idler pulleys there, got tensioner pulley and water pump. Once they're all changed, I'll put it all back together, and then I'll put it all back together, and then I'll rotate it 2 full turns, and then I'll put all my locking pins back in. And if my locking pins go back in without any grief, then I know timing's not moved, and we timed up right. Right, I'm going to crack on with this now. Well, that's cam belt done. Cam belt done, all back together. Put that new rocker cover on. Makes it look a bit better. I'm going to give all that a clean up with gunk, with degreaser. No clutching. Tidied that end cap up a bit because it was a bit grubby. That's manky old rocker cover. I'll probably give that a powder coat when I've got a bit of spare time. But yeah, one what come off said 16 valve Z-Tech Ford on it. One what's gone on says double overhead cam 16 valve. Only it's same, I think. I think that come off a Fiesta, I'm not sure, but there you go. Right, I'll get back to you when I've done a little bit more. Not be long before it's finding its way back in where it lives. See in a bit. Made a bit more progress in right direction going forwards. I've got brand new fuel tank in now. I don't know how much of this you'll make out with it being dark, but that's brand new fuel tank. Pipes all back in up to filler cap. That's all in. It's wired in. Fuel lines are laid in. I don't know if you can just make out over here, but I've put a fuel filter in. I don't know why, for some reason, when this were a diesel van, there were no fuel filter in. But that's fuel filter out at car. Well, that's mounting bracket out at car. Fought fuel filter, but I've put a brand new one in, obviously, because even though it were only low mileage, I still opted to fit a new fuel filter. Better safe than sorry. Better safe than sober, as we always say. So yeah, that's fuel tanking. Not right sure about that fuel filter looking at it from here. Because there were no mounting for it, I just put it where there were an hole in bodywork, Looks a bit low to me. There is a bracket up there. I'll have a think about that, and I might move that up to that bracket. Yeah, that bracket there. Might move fuel filter up there, it shouldn't be too much trouble. I don't like where that sinks below the body, especially with being a petrol. If it had been a diesel it wouldn't have mattered so much, because if it got twatted off, diesel doesn't explode like petrol does. So I might have to give that a rethink. But anyway, it has got a fuel filter in, just to get it running and make sure everything's alright. I've got brand new wishbones. Coming satin black. But I've given them a quarter smooth hammerite, because they go rusty really quick, because paint what they come in, it's wafer thin, and it's only a primer. So I've given them 1/4 smooth hammer, and I'm going to give them another coat after they've had 2 coats, just basically to make them look a bit better and to protect them. Right, that's old filter off at car. I presume it's a genuine one. It's a Motorcraft. There's an arrow on them, because arrows there, if you can just see it. Flow only goes one way with these filters, so goes in there, comes out there. But that's original one off at car, and obviously I've put a brand new one on, put a Crossland filter on, so that's what rubbish bin. Right, I'll bring you back in a bit when I've got a bit more done. Right, I'm just starting to prep subframe for mounting subframe and wishbones. Now I've come to mount this engine mount. It was a bit grubby, so I've given it a polish. Only a quick polish up on wheel, because aluminium had gone all white and powdery, so give it a quick whip or up wire wheel, and it looks alright. But when it went for powder coating, they hadn't blocked. This is threaded to mount this. Normally they put silicone plugs in so that paint don't go in and block all threads up. Well, they'd forgot when they did this, so I've had a devil's own job trying to re-tap that. Fortunately I got a tap what fitted, but powder coating were that hard, I had a right struggle getting it through, but we managed it in end, and it's come up alright. So yeah, that's next job on my list, to get this subframe in, get wishbones on, might get suspension on, and might be able to throw some wheels on, and it might look like it's very nearly rolling. So yeah, see you in a bit, fellas. Right then, viewers, I'm going to call this an end to video 14. I've managed to get, I don't know if you can just see there, but subframes in, engine mounting, steering rack's in now. I had a right pain with that subframe, because I come to fit anti-roll bar. This is anti-roll bar here. And the plugged anti-roll bar bolts, they're only 10mm bolts what hold it in, 2 at each side. And when it was powder coated, did not put silicone plugs in, so threads were absolutely gummed up with powder coat. So I've had to tap all them out and get them in. But yeah, we've got one spring in there. It's only hand tight, but yeah, steady progress. That's about all I can tell you for this video. Wishbones have had another coat of Amorite Smooth, so they've got some protection on. Wiring harness has had fuse boxes starting to live where it's supposed to. I'm starting to remember where all wires are supposed to go. Wiring took brains in, and all this needs altering to fit lights on van, because obviously this is saloon wiring loom, which is different, so that's got to be spliced into that, which is van loom to backlights. So somewhere along the line they've got to be sorted out. Fuel tanks in and sorted. I've shown you that before, I'm sure I have. There it is. Fuel tank, filter, which I'm sure I'm going to have to move. I'm not happy about how low that hangs down. But yeah, that's an end to video 14. Thanks for watching, thanks for all your support. I don't think there'll be a video out next week, because we're going away for a week, me and Mrs. It's his wedding anniversary, so we're going away. But you can tell I'm going away. Weather's changed to rain, so that's about right for my look. Worked all other week through red hot temperatures. I come to go away for a week and it's bagging it down. Right fellas, I'm waffling again. See you in the next video. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for all your support. See you later. Bye for now.